Today I'm going to teach you how to make a radial design. Radial balance means that the pattern is repeated around a central point. I'm going to use my color wheel. First thing I do is I trace one of the sections. Within that section, I can draw different shapes. When those shapes are repeated, they will create a mirror image. So I have made some rectangles, some designs that will eventually be hearts, something with a lot of curved edges. In order to test these, I have to trace them out. So, drawn this pattern. I am going to put the pattern face down onto a page. The pencil that I've drawn is underneath the paper. I'm going to trace over my pencil. Once that's all traced, give myself some guidelines. I'm going to flip the pattern over, line it up with the pattern I've already drawn, and I'm going to transfer it again. Then I'm going to flip it again. Line it up. It's not always perfect. Trace it again. And eventually I can see that it turns into kind of a flowery shape. I have done this with the half heart section here, and I don't know if you can see it very well, but it basically looks like this when it is transferred. I'm highlighting these lines so they show up better in the video. I also might want to highlight the lines so that when I go to cut them, I can see them better. I have transferred the rectangles here. And I have this other design. Okay, so we have two flower designs. I want to cut these out. If I were to cut this design out, it wouldn't work. All right? If I'm just going to transfer the design and color it, this would work just fine. But if I'm going to cut this out, I'm going to cut out these colored areas. I can't have shapes within shapes. If I were to cut along this line, this part would fall out and I just wouldn't see it anymore. Same thing here. I can't have overlapping shapes, because if I were to cut along this line, that whole thing would fall out. So when you're going to do a cutout, avoid shapes within shapes. Avoid overlapping shapes. If I want to cut this out, I have to change the design. So, let me show you what I would cut out after I have changed the design. So this is what it would look like if I were just going to trace it. And this is what it would look like if I were going to cut it out. Kind of like a stencil. If I cut it out, it's going to disappear.